After a disappointing 2008 to 2009 season, in which the Warriors' record was 29-53, the Warriors would draft guard Stephen Curry from Davidson with the 7th overall pick in the 2009 draft. In his rookie year, Curry would go on to showcase great potential, putting up averages of 17.5 points, 5.9 assists, and 1.9 steals per game, and finishing second in Rookie of the Year voting. Despite a solid rookie season, the Warriors only finished with a 26-56 record. The following year, after failing to make the playoffs with only 36 wins, the Warriors decided to make a coaching change and hire longtime ESPN commentator Mark Jackson. Unfortunately, during Jackson's first year, the Warriors had terrible luck with injuries. Stephen Curry would have injuries to his ankle and in the tendon in his right foot. That year, he was only able to play 26 regular season games. Despite his injury, the Warriors would controversially sign him to a 4-year, $44 million contract. With the Warriors' record, they had the 11th pick in the 2011 NBA draft, selecting shooting guard Klay Thompson for his shooting ability and the idea that he could improve as a defender under coach Mark Jackson. In another controversial decision, the Warriors would trade the team leader Monte Ellis along with Kwame Brown and Ekpe Udoh to the Milwaukee Bucks for center Andrew Bogut on March 13, 2012. Now this was a very risky move at the time, since Monte Ellis had been an established member of the Warriors team for several years and was an integral part of the We Believe team. However, his departure allowed Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry to take larger roles in the team, furthering their development. The acquisition of Andrew Bogut also showed the first signs of the team building upon their defense. However, Bogut did not play at all, as he had been declared out for the season with an ankle injury in January. Unfortunately, during Jackson's first year, the Warriors had a terrible 23-43 season record. There was a silver lining in the fact that they had several draft picks in a loaded 2012 draft. With the 7th pick, they would select small forward Harrison Barnes and forward Draymond Green with 32nd pick. This was the first season in which the Warriors' rebuilding and draft choices would really show its potential. They had a great start, winning 20 games before the 30th game mark for the first time since 1992. On April 9, 2013, the Warriors would clinch a playoff seed for the second time in 19 years with a win against the Timberwolves, their local battle cry at the time being, "We belong." They earned the 6th seed in the West with a 47-35 record. In the first round, they beat the Denver Nuggets 4-2, but they would lose to the Spurs in the second round. Despite the second round exit, there were many reasons to be happy with their season. Their backcourt of Curry and Klay were becoming well known for their incredible shooting ability. They both combined for the most three-pointers in a season by a pair with 483. This earned them the nickname the Splash Brothers. Stephen Curry took a big leap, averaging 22.9 points and 6.9 assists per game. He had also broken the record for amount of three-pointers in a season, with 272 three-pointers, passing Ray Allen's previous record of 269. Golden State signed Andre Iguodala to a 4-year, $48 million deal. Iguodala would help strengthen the team's defense for the upcoming year. The 2013-2014 season again saw its steps of improvement by the Warriors. They would once again clinch a playoff berth as the 6th seed, the first time the Warriors would have consecutive playoff berths since 1991 and 1992. They finished with a record of 51-31, winning more than 50 games for the 4th time in franchise history. Fortunately for their playoff hopes, Andrew Bogut would be out for the postseason with a cracked rib. David Lee would also be out for the postseason, but this would turn out to be a blessing in disguise, as Draymond Green would gain a starting role. Without Bogut, the Warriors would take the Clippers to 7 games, but would lose in Game 7. Despite the first round exit, the team took yet another leap to become an elite team. Stephen Curry increased his stats, averaging 24 points and 8.5 assists. He even earned a spot on the All-Star team starters. Klay Thompson improved his stats with 18.4 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 2.2 assists, and occasionally putting up high scores on prolific shooting. He was also taking steps to becoming a great defender, using his stamina and size to defend elite guards and wings. Draymond Green also flashed some of his defensive potential in the Clippers series by averaging 1.7 blocks and 1.7 steals. There were rumors that the coaching staff of the Warriors were starting to become dysfunctional. Consequently, the team fired Mark Jackson and replaced him with Steve Kerr, who would sign a $25 million deal for 5 years. This was Steve Kerr's first head coaching job in his career. He decided to implement an offense with elements of the triangle offense from his playing days in Chicago under Phil Jackson, the spacing and pace of Greg Popovich in San Antonio, and the up-tempo principles Mike D'Antoni and later Alvin Gentry used in Phoenix when Kerr was GM. Kerr's offensive principles, combined with the members of the Warriors, took the league by storm. The Warriors started out the season with a 21-2 record, as well as having a 19-game unbeaten streak at home. They finished the season with a 67-15 record, the best in the league and the most amount of wins in franchise history. At the end of the season, they also had a number 2 ranked offense and the number 1 ranked defense. What led to this incredible jump to elite status was an incredible jump for many of their players. Draymond Green maintained his starting position at power forward, and even as a center during certain lineups. His ability to switch and guard all positions, as well as still being able to be a rim protector, helped the Warriors become elite defensively. He finished the season with first-team All-Defense honors, as well as being a runner-up in Defensive Player of the Year voting. Klay Thompson made another big leap into becoming one of the best shooting guards in the league in terms of both offense and defense. He averaged 21 points per game on 43% three-point shooting, and showcased an ability to go nuclear offensively, like when he broke the record for the most amount of points in a quarter by scoring 37 against the Kings. He was instrumental to the team because of his ability to score points without needing to dribble or command the ball. The Warriors' bench would also be one of the best in the league, as they had Iguodala and Shaun Livingston. Of course, at the top of all the player improvements was Stephen Curry's breakout season into a superstar and MVP season. Steve Kerr allowed Curry more freedom to shoot as he pleased, which opened the floodgates offensively. He was starting to gain traction as being known as one of the greatest shooters in the NBA and in NBA history when he broke his own three-point record made in a single season with 286 three-pointers made. Curry was voted the NBA Most Valuable Player after posting averages of 23.8 points, 7.7 assists, and 2 steals per game. In the postseason, they continued their dominance by sweeping the New Orleans Pelicans. They came back from a 2-1 deficit against the Grizzlies and finished the series of games in 6, with Curry scoring 8 three-pointers in the final game. They cruised past James Harden and the Houston Rockets in 5 games, en route to face LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Warriors' first finals appearance since 1975. They were the heavily favored team, with Cleveland missing key pieces Kyrie and Kevin Love. Still, LeBron did all he could and even won 2 games against the Warriors, giving the Cavs a 2-1 lead. Stephen Curry started out the series struggling, but in Game 5 he scored 37 points and helped close out the series with 26 points and 6.3 assists. The Warriors defeated the Cavs 4-2, their first in 40 years. Andre Iguodala was interestingly named the Finals MVP for his defensive performance on LeBron James. The Warriors not only continued their dominance, but got better as a team and individually. They started out the season winning their first 24 games. Their offense would make more use of their so-called death lineup, with Iguodala, Green, Harrison Barnes, Klay, and Curry, to demolish teams with their pacing, defensive versatility, and three-point shooting. The team set an NBA record 54 straight regular season home game winning streak. On April 13, 2016, Golden State capped off their historic season and set the record for most wins in a single season, finishing 73-9. Draymond broke the Golden State franchise record of 9 triple-doubles in a season. He became the first player in NBA history to record 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, 500 assists, 100 steals, and 100 blocks in a single season. He made All-NBA second team, runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year, and first team All-Defense. Klay Thompson maintained his offensive impact with 22.3 points per game, while improving on his defensive ability. Stephen Curry took his MVP season to another level by having one of the greatest offensive seasons of all time. He once again demolished his own record of most threes in a single season with an incredible 402 three-pointers. He also became only the 7th player in NBA history to join the 50-40-90 club, shooting 45% from 3 while attempting an incredible 11.2 threes a game. He averaged 30.1 points and 6.7 assists, once again while sitting out many fourth quarters. His incredible season made him the first unanimous MVP ever with 131 votes. In the postseason, Curry would suffer a sprained right MCL and would be out for 2 weeks. The Warriors would still be able to cruise past the Rockets in 5 and the Trailblazers in 5. However, in the Western Conference Finals, the Warriors faced their toughest opponent yet in the OKC Thunder led by Kevin Durant and Westbrook. OKC being an incredibly athletic team with Draymond having a poor series, the Warriors went down 3-1. The Warriors would rally in Game 5 and Game 6 to force a Game 7. In Game 6, Thompson made a playoff record 11 three-pointers and scored 41 points. At home, they then closed out the series, winning Game 7 and earned another trip to the finals with another rematch with Cleveland. This time, the Cavaliers had their trio of LeBron, Love, and Kyrie. Despite this, the Warriors would continue their dominance in the first 4 games, gaining a 3-1 lead. At this point, the Warriors were heavily favored to win the title. No team had ever come back down from a 3-1 deficit in finals history. Still, LeBron and Kyrie heroically kept their team in the series, forcing a Game 7. In a tight Game 7, LeBron would block Iguodala from getting the go-ahead bucket, and Kyrie would hit a 3 over Stephen Curry for the crucial dagger, giving the championship to Cleveland. To the dismay of the Warriors, they would not follow up with their historic 73 season with a championship. They also became the first team in NBA history to lose a 3-1 lead in the finals. The Warriors would not have to stay sad for long, as Kevin Durant would shock the basketball world by signing with the Golden State Warriors in free agency. Enamored by their ball movement style offense and the organization's culture, he felt that this would be the best place for him. Of course, this led to huge ridicule and criticism by NBA fans, analysts, and everyone around the world, as Durant joined the team that he had lost to in the conference finals. To Warriors fans, it was a dream come true, as their already insane offense took yet another step. To make room for KD, the Warriors didn't resign Barnes and traded away Bogut. They were still able to maintain their main 4 and their key bench pieces of Livingston and Iguodala. The big 4 of Curry, Durant, Clay, and Green seemed like it would be one of the most potent offenses of all time. This was true, as their big 4 cruised to a 67-15 record and another first seed in the West. The tandem of KD and Curry proved too much for most teams, as the Warriors steamrolled past their playoff competition, sweeping the Trailblazers and the Jazz. They had a scare in Game 1 against the Spurs, where they went down by 20, but they battled back to win the game. An injury to Spurs star Kawhi Leonard also allowed them to sweep the Spurs. For the 3rd year in a row, the Warriors faced LeBron and the Cavs. However, KD and Curry proved too much, as the Warriors only lost 1 game, beating the Cavs 4-1 for the second championship in 3 years. KD had a phenomenal finals, averaging 35.2 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 5.4 assists, while shooting 55.5% from the field, 47.4% from three-point range, and 92.7% from the free throw line. The Warriors' playoff record of 16-1 was the best playoff record by any team ever. Currently, the Warriors are once again in the conference finals, facing a Game 7 against the Rockets. They've struggled this series but have shown flashes of their potent offense. Even at the Rockets' home court, they have a good chance to win their way to another finals and to win back-to-back championships. Many will complain of the Warriors' dominance, destroying the parity of the NBA, but it's important to note that the Warriors built most of their pieces through the draft. Throughout their rebuilding, they didn't have a draft pick above 7. They took chances when people were skeptical, like giving Curry the contract and hiring Steve Kerr, and these risks paid off amazingly. They have worked hard to maintain a winning culture, where their team comes first and there's relatively no drama, which helped attract a superstar like Kevin Durant. Many will say the Warriors have broken basketball, but it's quite possible that they may have perfected it. Championship teams never last long, but it seems like this Warriors dynasty will be around for many years to come.